So I'm going to repair this glory hole door today. You can see here how this corner is cracked, falling apart. I think I may have mixed too much water into the refractory concrete, or Kast-O-Lite. So I'm going to put stainless steel fibers into the castable. This is Kast-O-Lite 30. And let's get started. I learned how to do these types of things by reading A Glass Blower's Companion by Dudley Giberson, and Glass Notes by Henry Halem is another great book on how to build glass blowing equipment. So you always want to get your safety gear on, respirator, ear protection, eye protection, and if you have a rotary hammer, I suggest using it. I find any excuse to use mine. You can also just smash it out with a hammer. I thought this was going to be more fun than it actually was. But you want to make sure when you've got it all finished that you sweep up, and you always want to keep your place clean. These styrofoam pieces here will create the hole in my glory hole, and this wooden piece will act as a dam to hold the Kast-O-Lite in place. So I've got all these bricks holding the steel frames in place because I'm going to be jamming Kast-O-Lite into this door frame. So mixing up Kast-O-Lite is not like mixing up concrete. You want a much drier mixture. You don't want to just hose this stuff down. I'm kind of using a rule of thumb as how well it clumps together, and being real careful not to add too much water, but I end up getting frustrated and then just dumping that water bottle into here. I didn't show it, but I already mixed in the little metal fibers that I showed you earlier. And now I'm just going to pack all this Kast-O-Lite into the metal frame. And you really want to make sure you're packing it in there and getting all the voids of air out and the Kast-O-Lite in. So you really want to pay attention to these edges of the glory hole door. That's where they like to crumble the most if you don't pack them well. So you really want to detail them. Just jam your fingers in there, get a tool in there. I'm using a trowel, and pack those edges. So now I'm going to start my other door. I think if I was going to do this again, I would only mix up enough Kast-O-Lite to do one door at a time, just because mixing that much Kast-O-Lite is pretty laborious, and it also starts curing before I can even get it into the other mold. But it works well enough. All right, I just finished packing all the Kast-O-Lite in there, and went pretty well. The metal bits didn't bother my fingers, or didn't seem to bother me at all. They just went right in. So we'll see how this looks in a couple of days when it dries out. Your shop's probably going to end up looking like a war zone too, so I suggest doing this outside. And another little tip, you want to put a little bit of WD-40 on your trowel or whatever tool you're using to mix, because it'll help prevent the rust. So now I'm going to detail this other door, which I don't want to recreate completely with Kast-O-Lite, so I'm going to use a mixture called rammable, plastic rammable. I buy the plastic rammable from Ceramtech. The brand is Morco. Morco Plastic BR is the one you want to use. And so you can patch these little chipped up pieces of door and get another 6 months, a year or two out of it. And it's really great stuff. It's easy to use. You just use a little bit of water. And there's some that's been baked on in the past. And now it looks like our doors are ready to unveil. So I'm going to take them apart, and you can see here it looks like the edges packed in really well. So you want to be careful when you're removing the styrofoam insert, because it can chip your Kast-O-Lite. So take that out carefully, and it looks like those little metal fibers are sticking out as well, so I'm going to get a pair of pliers and just trim those off. Now I'm going to put the doors back on my glory hole, and I'll be ready to work for tomorrow. Alright, so I got the doors back on the glory hole. They came out great. I think next time I will just make one door at a time. So I'll mix half as much Kast-O-Lite at once and cast one door so I can really detail it and make it right, and then mix more Kast-O-Lite for the next door. The metal fibers seem to work great. We'll see how they hold up over the next few months. And check out the rest of my videos and leave comments below, or hit me up on my website, gibbonsglass.com. Thanks a lot, guys.